Alright, welcome to my Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Leia bundle gameplay and review. Now I am well aware that this came out 2 days ago. I'm a little late to this, but tons and tons of people have been asking for this review. So let me just first start off by saying I am a huge Star Wars fan. No one else in my entire family watched Star Wars, and then I introduced it to my son Jack, whom you've probably seen in my videos before, and he loved it. So much so that he bought anything Star Wars related that he could. Video games, lightsabers, toys, it was awesome. But like I said, nobody else in my family cares for it, so me watching these movies and all the awesome spin-offs like The Mandalorian and Boba Fett, nobody gets quite as excited as me, except for Jack. So to see the original trio come to the game. A lot of people have been wanting Luke Skywalker. We've got pretty much everyone else that's of relevance. But we never had Han Solo, Leia, or Luke until now. So they strategically split them up into 2 different bundles. So you can't buy them all in one. They of course want you to spend a little more V-Bucks to get the full package. With that said, the Luke Skywalker bundle is pretty big. So you get Luke plus 2 other styles. You get the awesome training remote, the X-34 land speeder, which I'm going to talk about in a little more detail because I love something about it, the little speeder bike, and then the slug thrower rifle. So a fairly large bundle, and it actually costs 2,400 V-Bucks. Then we got Han and Leia. So surprisingly, this is only 100 V-Bucks more. This entire bundle is 2,500. So you get Han plus 2 other styles. You get the awesome Millennium Falcon. We also have a glider of this if you got it a few seasons ago. You get Leia plus 2 other styles. You get the incredible R2-D2 back bling. I love this. And then of course 2 pickaxes, 1 for each. So I'm going to start with the Luke Skywalker bundle. Alright, so here's Luke. It says Force Sensitive Farmer and Galactic Hero. So he's got the default style with his lightsaber by his side. You know what? We got to test to see if he's secretly reactive to lightsabers. I wonder if you use one, does that come off his hip? Because it sure did with Darth Vader, if I remember. We've got, in my opinion, the cooler style, the Jedi Knight version of Luke. And I love this one. Obviously, he's got his glove on. He's got the better lightsaber, in my opinion. And then we've got the cloaked version of the Jedi Knight, Luke Skywalker. So you can see with the cloaked version, the back bling does go over the back. So that's pretty sweet. You can still rock a back bling. Obviously, you can't wear another cape, but every other back bling you still can. So I was trying to recall when Luke wore this brown cloak, and if I remember correctly, it was at the Return of the Jedi, when he snuck into Jabba's palace. I'm sure there were other instances, but that's the one that I personally remember. However, he didn't have that black glove on yet, because that happens after his fight with Darth Vader. Now, I don't want to spoil what happens, but it's been, 40 years since the movie came out? But he did not have that glove on just yet. So maybe he wears that cloak again later on. I just can't remember. It's been so long. So by far my favorite style is the Jedi Knight version. Now I saw a lot of people complaining online that the face doesn't look like Mark Hamill, who obviously plays Luke Skywalker. I kind of agree though. It doesn't really look like Mark, but I think they did a fine job. I mean, it's not too bad. If you showed this to your average Joe Schmo, I'm sure they would say, oh, that's Luke Skywalker, 100%. So his back bling is called the training remote. Obviously, if you remember when he was training to be a Jedi with Obi-Wan, he tested his skills out on this. I was kind of hoping this would be reactive, but it does not appear to be the case. It is animated, and it does have a light, so we'll see how that looks. A unique choice for a pickaxe. I know everyone wants a lightsaber, but unfortunately, for some reason, we can't have them in the game at this point in time. So this does play a pivotal role in the first movie, if you remember. So he took a rifle like this when he was on Tatooine, when he was searching for R2-D2, if you remember. He also used the X-34 land speeder, which we'll see in a minute. And then I think, if I remember, this rifle got destroyed when he got ambushed by the Tusken Raiders. But Luke actually used a rifle like this, so that's pretty cool. So his glider is the X-34 land speeder. This first appeared in the very first movie. Well, it's actually episode 4, but the first one that came out in 1977, A New Hope. And I just referenced this when he was looking for R2-D2. I love this. Incredible. And I'll show you something I really love about it in-game. I can't show you right here. So here's the little speeder bike, which is traversal. This is the Imperial 74Z speeder bike. So I specifically remember this from the Battle of Endor, where the stormtroopers are on these and they're trying to kill everyone, including the Ewoks. A nice little Star Wars traversal emote. I love it. So there's no actual wrap for Luke. This is Darth Vader's. It'll go with his second and third style, but for his first one, it won't really match. So I'm going to show you all 3 styles. Let's go take a look real quick. All right, so here's the X-34 land speeder. So that's a nice deploy. You can hear the engine rev just by idling here. Here's what it sounds like going forward. And backwards. And to the left. And the right. And one more redeploy. It's not bad. Now what I really love about this is that it sounds identical to the DeLorean from Back to the Future. Listen to this. That noise right there. All I can think about is the DeLorean when I hear that. Seriously, watch Back to the Future 1 when Doc Brown is out testing the DeLorean at the Twin Pines Mall, and it definitely makes that noise. I've heard that before 100%. All right, so let's take a look at Mr. Luke in the default style. So the pickaxe is relatively big. I do enjoy it, though. Obviously, he holds it inverted, so the butt of the gun is what you're swinging. It's got a nice little brownish contrail. Let's see if there's a splash. It doesn't look really out of the ordinary there. It does get a little silly when you try to sprint with it because it's so large. It kind of gets weird when you try to put it away and turn into the sprint animation. Not bad, though. So you can clearly see the lightsaber dangling from his side, and the back bling is 100% fully animated. Spinning, it's hovering, it's twirling. It's got that light, like I said. Let's go in the shade and see if we can actually see that light. Yeah, you can see a little bit. It'll reflect onto his shirt when it turns around and faces him. So here's the little speeder bike. He kind of rocks back and forth like he's racing. And a look behind him. That's without even moving. This is so cool. Look at him lean and rock. Nobody's passing me. Pretty sweet. Alright, let's see if he's secretly reactive in any way. I'm going to specifically watch the back bling. Didn't appear to do anything there. Let's try the E11 blast. I haven't used that in forever. Nothing on 2. And one more here. Bummer. Well, at least they made it fully animated. Alright, let's find a lightsaber and see if it truly is interactive with the lightsaber around his belt. Alright, here we go. Moment of truth. So Luke obviously has a blue lightsaber as well as a green one. We're going to take both of them. Okay, so does the blue one come off his side? No, it does not. How about the green one? No, it does not. That is unfortunate. What are you looking at, Terrence? Well, it does work with Darth Vader, so I don't know why it doesn't work with Luke here. Alright, here we go. This is Luke with his Jedi Knight outfit on. Looks like the sun is going down so we can see the back bling in all its nighttime glory. I'm going to grab the lightsabers again just to see if maybe they interact with this version. Unfortunately, they do not. That is a bummer. So you can see the darker in nature tone of Luke. Back bling, well, let me just pull out the pickaxe so you can see. Definitely can notice that light a little better now. Lightsabers look phenomenal. In the dark, of course. Alright, here's the cloaked version of Luke. So I do like that they offer this one just because it is almost a completely different look. You can't even tell this is Luke from the back. So that's pretty sweet. Only when you spin him around would you see. So this might actually be my favorite one. It combines the awesome Jedi clothes plus the cloak. And obviously you can still run a back bling over the back like I mentioned. I actually really enjoy this one. So let's test one more time if the lightsabers are interactive with this style. So you can't really see unless you swing, and there's the lightsaber on his side still. Bummer. I wonder if Darth Vader still does it. We'll have to check. Not bad, though. Like I said, this is probably my favorite one. the mysterious cloak. I love it. So Han says smuggler, scoundrel, scruffy-looking nerf herder. And he's got the default Han Solo style with his blaster right there and the awesome Millennium Falcon back bling. So that looks like Harrison Ford. I think they did a fantastic job of his face. I don't know what happened with Mark Hamill, though. Then he's got his Duster version, which is that trench coat, and then the Rebel General. So there's not much change between Han Solo and the Rebel General. You can see the pants change, and that's about it. So he's got the red stripe down the pants on this one, plus the green, and on these they're brown plus gold. So I think I much prefer the original one here, the Han Solo, as opposed to Rebel General. So I'm only going to show these two since the first and third are pretty much identical. I'll be curious if this backbling does anything. I don't see any animation to it. Hopefully it's secretly reactive, but we'll see. So as for his pickaxe, the Vibro Staff, this is actually my son Jack's favorite part. He loves this scene. So if you haven't seen Return of the Jedi, the description for this literally says, Boba Fett, where? So if you've seen Return of the Jedi, you'll know exactly what that description means. So they're fighting above the Sarlacc pit. Jabba the Hutt tried to throw him in the pit to kill him. And Han Solo is still blind because he just got unfrozen and that was one of the side effects. So he picks up this staff right here, the Vibro Staff. I think one of the enemies drops it, picks it up, and he literally says, Boba Fett. And to me, it kind of glitches out. So he says, Boba Fett, and then it cuts away for a second, and then he says it again, Boba Fett. Just the way he says it, it's just weird. Look it up. Just the way he says it twice like that, I feel like it was a mistake. But anyway, then he'll say, Boba Fett, where? And he turns around with this staff and accidentally bops Boba Fett in the back, and he smashes against the wall and flies into the pit, and everyone assumed that he died in there, but then if you've seen the Book of Boba Fett, you know what really happened. But that's really cool that they picked this pickaxe from that particular scene. He literally picks this object up one frame and bops Boba Fett with it. It's so cool. Jack loves that scene, like I said. And then we got the Millennium Falcon. I equipped this. This was a free Christmas present gift, if I remember correctly. And it's one of the most blinding gliders in the entire game. So let's go see what Han Solo looks like in game. So here we go. Watch this. The Millennium Falcon. Blinding. And then you go, whoa. And you kind of swirl around. It's got a nice contrail there with the bright blasters going. The gun on top swirls around in a turret fashion. But watch this. Bam, 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 bam. You can't see nothing. Holy smokes, that hurts my eyes times a million. Pretty sweet, though. One of the cooler gliders in the game. Now, the real question is, does the backbling do anything? We're going to find out. Rebels, blast them! Okay, buddy. Han is actually such a cool character. I love him. So the pickaxe, a little smaller than what Luke had. Doesn't really have a contrail. See if there's a splash. No, not anything special there. Doesn't look like the backbling is animated. The cargo crates that it's holding there kind of have good physics. They flop in the breeze. I was trying to see if the E11 blaster was interactive with the gun on his holster there, but not the case. Spin him around. Hey, he's a good looking skin. I like the green pants, like I said. Not too shabby. The real question is about the backbling. It's got to do something, right? It has to. Let's take a look. It doesn't say it's reactive, though, so I'm not holding my breath. But we're going to see. Nothing. Let's take a little damage, too, just in case. Don't run. No. That's a little unfortunate. Bummer. I wonder if that means the R2-D2 backbling's not going to do anything either. That'll be a little disappointing. Alright, here's the second style of Han Solo. So, by the way, I did see the movie Solo, A Star Wars Story. I thought that was really good. It didn't get the best reviews, but if you haven't seen it yet, it's a pretty good origin story for Han Solo. So, let's see. This jacket, I don't know. It's kind of almost camouflagey. And of course, backblings can go over it, as you see. I think I just prefer his original design over this one. You can still see his original outfit underneath, but I'm not a big fan of it. Of course, you can still use the speeder bike. Yeah, I think I prefer the default and third style for Han Solo. So lastly, we get Princess Leia. It says Princess, Senator, Rebel, Icon. So a lot of people have been asking for Leia since the start of the Star Wars collaborations, and we finally get her. So she has 3 different styles. You can put her classic Senator outfit on. So this is from A New Hope. And you can also put her hood down with her iconic hair. To think that people tried to replicate that after seeing the movie. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that hairstyle, but to each their own, I guess. So this is just the senatorial gown, like I said. Pretty iconic, though. Now this one is her disguise. So she doesn't wear this very long, and this is in Return of the Jedi. So I think this happened at the start of the movie, if I remember correctly. She snuck in to Jabba's palace and unthawed Han Solo. And I'll never forget this scene because her voice in this was so creepy. So Han Solo was blind from being frozen, and she disguised her voice in this helmet, and it was so creepy. I remember being freaked out by it. So just a very slight scene with her disguised like this, and they made it into a style. So you can also take the helmet off, as you can see, which I think looks incredible. She doesn't have her hair up in those buns anymore. And I think they really did a good job of replicating Carrie Fisher's looks here. I like this style right here. This is perfect. I would much prefer this over the Senator gown. And then you have the disguise with the cape, which, I don't know. Is it really necessary? Is basically what I have to say. It's like a half cape. And with R2-D2 on your back, you can't really see much of it at all. I think I prefer the middle style. Looks good though. So we're gonna leave the hood down for the first style. And then of course she does have R2-D2, the iconic R2-D2 on her back. That's amazing. Now he's gotta do something, right? There's gotta be a beep or a boop or some kind of reactivity, right? Please tell me they added it. Please tell me they did. Alright, Princess Leia, please tell me you got some secrets up your sleeves here. Oh, look at this, the full nighttime effect. So her pickaxe is pretty large, not as large as Luke's. You can see R2-D2 does light up a little bit. And he does move. Yep, he's slightly animated there. Pickaxe seems pretty bland. How about a splash? Nope, no splash either. So it's pretty much just a very large gown. But like I said, truly iconic for Princess Leia. The start of the movie, A New Hope. So when you aim down sights with this one, her bulky robes kind of get in your way. If you're a fan of looking at your full camo, you might not like this. You can see it does obscure a little bit. I don't know why it's so bulky. I feel like they could have lessened it a little bit there. If I did run this style, I would probably put hood up, just so you could hide a little bit of that bun. Alright, here we go. We're going to focus on R2-D2. No, please. Not even a boop. Not even a scream. Nothing on 2. This is not looking good. Nothing on 3. Wow. R2-D2, are you kidding me? I wonder if they couldn't secure the copyrights or something. I don't know. When R2-D2 screams in the movies, it's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. I would have loved if maybe you take damage, he does that scream or something. Let's stand on it and see. No, nothing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed that there's no reactivity on the Millennium Falcon, on Luke's training ball, on R2-D2. But again, maybe they couldn't get some kind of copyright things. I don't know. It just seems a little disappointing. I can't complain, though, because they are finally in the game. But at the same time, they don't do much. Slightly animated for 2 of them. Millennium Falcon didn't even do anything. Alright, so this is more like it. I love this skin. Look at this. No issues with aiming down sights. The hair is normal. So like I said, I do like this one best. But if you're a fan of Star Wars, I think you're going to like the other style better just because it's more iconic. And like I said, she only dresses as this character for just a few scenes in the entire movie, and that's it. However, if I were to put the helmet on, most people probably wouldn't even know it's Princess Leia under there. Unless you're a true Star Wars fan, of course. But just the overall design of this one looks really, really good. I would definitely rock this skin. So what do I think of these bundles? Well, they're awesome for finally arriving in Fortnite. But like I mentioned, there are some underwhelming aspects to them. In particular, each and every single backbling. 3 of the coolest backblings from Star Wars, and they don't do anything at all. Pickaxes are a little underwhelming as well, but they all have specific movie references, which is cool. If I had to rate these bundles, I would say Luke Skywalker is the better bundle of the two, but obviously you get more skins with the Han and Leia bundle. So if you can only get one, get Luke, but I do recommend, especially if you're a Star Wars fan, to get both. It's great to see these 3 iconic original trio characters in the game finally. So there you go. In my opinion, Luke Skywalker is the better bundle, and probably one of the best Star Wars skins we've got in the game so far. There you go. That's all there is to it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like is always appreciated. And don't forget to use my Support-A-Creator Code, which is tabortime.